We're going to start off with something fun today. For quite a while, as I'm sure you're aware, Trump has been constantly talking about DeSantis, attacking him, obsessed with him. Now we're getting a little bit of a two-way battle going on because a pro-DeSantis PAC, Never Back Down it's called, dropped two separate ads attacking Trump. Very fascinating. As I've said something to this effect in the past, when you have bad people attacking bad people, it makes for some good entertainment, which is what we have here. So we'll start with this ad. Take a look.
Donald Trump is being attacked by a Democrat prosecutor in New York. So why is he spending millions attacking the Republican governor of Florida? Trump's stealing pages from the Biden-Pelosi playbook, repeating lies about Social Security. Here's the truth from Governor Ron DeSantis.
We're not going to mess with Social Security as Republicans.
But what did Trump say?
Entitlements ever be on your plate?
At some point they will be. We will take a look at that.
Trump should fight Democrats, not lie about Governor DeSantis. What happened to Donald Trump? Never Back Down Inc. is responsible for the content.
What happened to Donald Trump, it asks. And before we get to this second ad that's so just bizarre, and it highlights what is so wrong about the ideology over there in this next ad that I'm going to show you. But that one, while I've said before, Trump has dishonestly characterized the specific actions of DeSantis when it comes to voting for particular things, Medicare, Social Security related. Generally, I don't know why I said that so fast, but generally, the attack of DeSantis wouldn't be good for Medicare and Social Security, I think is fair. I grade that as fair, even if the particulars of that sometimes Trump is inaccurate about, exaggerates a bit. But DeSantis has backed plans and proposals that would put in jeopardy Medicare and Social Security 100% whenever he was in Congress. And we know that this conservative ideology kind of DeSantis talking about his admiration for Paul Ryan definitely isn't about supporting Medicare and Social Security, absolutely top priority. No, instead it would be really nice if we could cut those, privatize possibly elements of it. And then I like that DeSantis is responding by saying, no, I'm pro Social Security. Trump, you're the one who's threatening entitlements, because what does this do? It causes the honest idea to be in the heads of Americans that, oh, it is the Republican Party that is threatening these programs. Trump saying it's DeSantis, DeSantis saying it's Trump. I know Biden isn't talking about that, right? Which I think is a really good thing to play out in this upcoming 2024 election. And that's definitely what is taking shape. Next ad, this is on the issue, attacking Trump on the issue of not being supportive enough of the NRA, which, if you know anything about Trump, we just went over his speech at the end of last week. At the NRA convention, he's far too supportive of the NRA, far too against common sense policies that would regulate guns to protect people in terms of gun violence. And this ad went and found the few examples of Trump being somewhat reasonable on the issue and are using those to attack him, which just shows how broken the ideology is coming from this world.
Trump promised NRA members he'd have their back. But when Second Amendment rights came under attack, Trump abandoned us and stood with liberal Democrats.
Our side. You guys, half of you are so afraid of the NRA. We have to fight them every once in a while. That's okay.
Some of you people are petrified of the NRA. You can't be petrified. They have great power over you people.
Do you see what's going on? The attack is, hey, look, Trump once said you shouldn't be petrified of the NRA. And so DeSantis, or those who put together this ad, a part of the pro-DeSantis PAC, are saying DeSantis would definitely be petrified of the NRA.
I don't need it. What do I need?
That is why I have called for red flag laws.
Or might take the firearms first and then go to court. I like taking the guns early. Take the guns first, go through due process.
He and I introduced another assault weapons bill.
Diane, you have some very good ideas. Diane, if you could add what you have also, and I think you can, into the bill.
Yeah. Joe, are you ready?
Can you do that? Joe, can you do that? Pat, can you add?
Yeah, if you help.
Well, no, I'll help, but can you add what Amy and what Diane have? Can we add them in? We're talking about rules and regulations for purchasing. We're talking about changing an age from 18 to 21. I mean, I say that it should all be at 21. We do strong background checks. We're getting rid of the bump stocks.
Trump cut and run like a coward. Trump, the gun grabber, doesn't deserve a second chance.
If the world was turned upside down and I was tasked with attempting to help Trump in a general election among moderate voters, that would be one of the ads that I play. Hey, look, he has once said something reasonable about gun control, a couple things. And that's the attack line from DeSantis or DeSantis World, his supporters with this ad, because I guess that's damaging among Republican primary voters. Look, Trump wanted to do something at one point rhetorically about the disastrous situation we're in this country that is unique to this country compared to other developed countries uniquely bad. And now when you take his history in full, you recognize he doesn't at all hold those stances, does not push for reasonable things, is going to the NRA convention and perpetuating all the same dishonest talking points that they push about the dishonest ideology that they push. But that's the way they're attacking him. It's so completely backwards, but that's what we're getting. Very interesting to see. While we're on the subject of kind of DeSantis, just to add on to this a little bit about the policy actions being taken by DeSantis, I think we have to discuss, because this is what's going to decide the Republican nominee, these types of kind of the reality TV show part of American politics, and it does impact the entire reality for sure. And also, we can't ignore the policy actions that get taken by these individuals. While DeSantis talks about being anti-woke and it means nothing, and he's going after CRT or whatever, or going after Disney for being pro-LGBTQ. Also, he's supportive of so many bad policy positions. And we looked at the end of last week when discussing the anti-DeSantis pudding ad that a pro-Trump group put out, the 6-week abortion ban that DeSantis signed into law in the state of Florida. Now I have this for you here from Reuters. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is expected to sign a bill on Friday allowing juries to recommend the death penalty in capital cases on an 8-4 vote, a move spurred by the less than unanimous vote that led to the Parkland school shooter being sentenced to life in prison. The state's Republican-led House of Representatives approved the measure with an 80-30 vote on Thursday, following the Republican-controlled state Senate's approval in March. If the Republican governor signs the bill into law, Florida prosecutors trying capital felony cases would need to convince only 2/3 of the 12-member jury that someone who is convicted deserves the death penalty rather than a unanimous decision by a jury, which, in case you have forgotten the reason, one of multiple, that this is so bad, is because of this. 1 in 25 criminal defendants who has been handed a death sentence in the United States has likely been erroneously convicted. That number, 4.1% to be exact, comes from a new analysis of more than 3 decades of data on death sentences and death row exonerations across the United States. 4.1% of people, likely based on this analysis, received the death penalty who were wrongfully convicted. That, understanding that, and then pushing to make it easier to give an individual the death penalty when it is far too likely they shouldn't be receiving that, they aren't guilty, is wild. I don't think we should have the death penalty at all, again, for multiple reasons. It's more expensive than just giving someone life in prison. And just the general morality of that is strange to me. But also this, knowing we're going to end up killing people who don't deserve it at all, but still pushing to make that easier. We're not even going to do that process that's already bad with a unanimous vote. We're going to bring that down to only 8 out of 12 of the jurors. DeSantis is not someone we want in the White House based on his anti-LGBTQ stuff, his anti-education efforts, his anti-freedom of speech with the bonkers things he supported in terms of protesting related policy, and his stance on abortion, signing a 6-week abortion ban, his treatment of migrants for political stunts, death penalty, many others. Wrong, 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 as is Trump.